Speech recognition, a very well-known term, and almost everyone knows about. Doesn't matter whether you are a researcher, you are a graduate student, you are a postgraduate, or you are a school student. Everyone knows about speech recognition because starting from your mobile phone to TV to any smart devices or the different sorts of IoT devices which are present inside your household. It might be a smart home, it might be a normal home, but there are a number of devices which are accepting inputs in the form of a speech. That's why speech recognition works there. So when we have this so common term, then what is the meaning of making a video onto this? Because everyone already knows about it. But the point is that when we have a common notion, when we have a common understanding of a particular term, do we also know the technicalities behind it? So that's why I'm going to talk about some of the related technicalities, some of the related works. What are the sort of data sets available? What are the sorts of works that you can do in the domain of speech recognition, etc. All these sort of things we are going to cover in this particular video. So let's start. Hey there, my name is Rohit Kumar, and today we are going to talk about exclusively on speech recognition. So here, speech recognition, we have come onto the IBM site, and here they have given a particular specific kind of blog on speech recognition, and they are saying that it is also known as the automatic speech recognition, in short ASR. And what is it? It is nothing but a kind of process to recognize the human speech into a written format. So when you convert the human speech into a written format, means some sort of text format, then it is considered as a speech recognition, because you have got a particular written format in the form of text, means you have recognized it. So that's all. Now, when we see this particular thing, speech recognition, it looks simple. But is it really so simple? Or there are some common steps or some of the basic key blocks that we have to consider before getting the final text output? So here you can see that it is the common speech recognition process. Here it is the human, and this is the voice sample. This voice sample gets fed into the speech enhancement, because your voice might be blurred, it might be noised. So you just need to have a denoising process and all sort of speech enhancement programs, whatever you have at your side. So ultimately, you want to improve the quality of a speech. So here is the speech enhancement. Then you need to do some sort of feature extraction. The people who work in the field of machine learning, deep learning, they very well know about this term feature. Feature is nothing but some sort of specific attribution with respect to a particular thing. Means if you are highlighting a particular quality of something, then that is a feature. So with respect to speech, it might be tone, it might be the amplitude, it might be the sort of volume, etc. So all these things, different sorts of features are available with respect to speech. Then you have the phonetic recognition. It is going to recognize the specific voice or the kind of speech, and then it is going to produce the text output with the help of acoustic modeling. So this acoustic modeling modules is supposed to get automatically available through some of the internal software that you have at your side, or you may have some external library also for it. So that's the whole process. Now we jump onto the specifically the technical document, which is going to specifically offer you some of the key related details with respect to speech recognition. Because when we are saying speech recognition, again, it's a big domain. There might be number of works that you can do in the field of speech recognition. So before just discussing this particular work, let me tell you just some of the basic things about speech recognition. Because when we talk about the speech recognition, one thing comes to mind that when we are discussing so important means field, then in this particular field, what are the sort of things that you can actually do? So in particular, let me tell you that you can have the by default automatic speech recognition. First thing. Secondly, you can have the sort of visual speech recognition. You can have the sort of robust speech recognition. You can have the distant speech recognition. Means different sorts of speech recognition you can perform, because there might be different varieties of speeches, and the sequence to sequence speech recognition, or the English conversational speech recognition, because the speech might be in different languages and all those things might be present. Then again, the tone of the voice and all those things might be present. So again, you need to improve it with the help of enhancement module, etc. Then you may have a particular accented speech recognition, etc., or the noisy speech, etc. Different varieties are there. So if you are a beginner, I will highly recommend to go for a particular survey paper. Firstly, because this particular work which we are considering, it is not a kind of exclusive survey work. So that's why it might not be suitable if you are a beginner. So for the new people who are just kind of beginner in this particular field, you are supposed to have a survey paper first. Then moving on to the other thing that when we are having so many different sort of works that we can do in the field of speech recognition, what are the sort of papers that we do have? So there are a number of papers with respect to speech recognition available. And if I tell you, then in particular, a bit old paper 2015 work, Listen, Attend and Spell, is available. It is having a PyTorch implementation, and the GitHub repository is also available. So you can go and have a look onto this. If you want to have a more recent work, then there is a spec argument, a simple data augmentation method for automatic speech recognition, 2019 work, a TensorFlow implementation, and again the GitHub implementation is available. So these are some of the related works. Then if you want to include the deep learning sort of thing, then deep speech work is there, which is available at GitHub, and the motto is to scale up the end-to-end speech recognition. So these are some sort of common works which are available. Additionally, there are a number of other works where you can go and have a look onto. For example, one work is 2020 work, which is Conformer, where the convolutional augmented transformer for speech recognition is presented. So all these things are present in the existing literature, and if you are interested, you can go to Google Scholar or some of the related academic web search portal, and there you will find the number of related details. So it's not a something which is quite complex sort of thing, because so many academic web portals are available which are ready to give you the in-hand active research papers. And most of the research portals are offering some of the free documents. It means so open access might be there, and some of the related means totally free repositories are available. And that's why in my videos I always recommend, means most of the times I recommend the archive box, because the archive is a kind of open repository where most of the works, almost every work is free of cost available. They are open access. So here you can go and you can find this particular work spec argument, as I told you. So in this work, it's a Google Brain project work. So there you can find number of people from Google team, and then they have here talked about the speech recognition. So they are providing a spec argument, which is a simple data augmentation method for speech recognition, and this method is applied for the feature input of neural network. So these sort of detailings and how many different tasks they have considered, and what is the WER percentage, etc., all these sort of details are available over here. I'm not going down into the technicalities because the video might be long enough. So just to make it short, I will just focus on the key portions of this work. So here in the introduction part, you will find some of the related histories and the related models which are used for a specific speech recognition. And then you have the data augmentation related detailing over here. Then you have the different WER and other things related information over here. Then you have the augmentation policy. What sort of policy you may use for augmentation? Then the modeling related details are available over here. Then they do have the experiments related details with respect to different data set. Here they have used the LibriSpeech, which is a very well-known data set, and I have covered a dedicated video onto LibriSpeech. So if you are interested into LibriSpeech, you can go and have a watch. Otherwise, you can have some different resources also, because a number of resources are available for LibriSpeech. Then moving down, they have done the comparative analysis. They have shown the improvement in the form of graphs, and then finally they have made the conclusion, adding up some of the references. So that's the whole work. Though it's not a very lengthy paper, just only 5 pages. So it is very good work if you are interested in some of the state of the art work. But point is that whenever you are doing research in the field of speech recognition or in any field, firstly, you should be very much crystal clear that what specifically you are trying to look into. So if you are working in speech recognition and in that you are focusing on to data augmentation method, then this particular work is suitable for you. But if you are working in some different field, then for example, the feature extraction or the sort of improved denoising process, etc. So there you need to find the suitable paper according to your requirement. So that's why I always focus onto the problem. Then you try to focus onto the kind of paper you are choosing, because that might become your base paper, and then start your research. So that's the fundamental. First thing first, that always, if you are a starter, that means if you are a new person, then firstly go for a good survey paper and then choose the right problem. That's the start point. So that's all for this particular video. And additionally, before closing this particular work, I would like to highlight some of the data sets also, because data sets are quite important. As we just discussed that Library speech is one of the data sets, but in addition to it, there are a number of others. For example, Common Voice German, then TODA, then SLU, then the media speech, and one is the switchboard is also kind of a data set available. So these are some of the data sets. Additionally, there are different models, including the Web2Vec, then the LSTM plus conformer encoder. Then you have the speeches 200 meter, then the coordinate, and you have the conformer transducer. So all these models are also available. So these are different sorts of data sets, and the related models are available. You can also find the related details with the help of GitHub and Google Scholars and the similar sort of academic web portals if you are interested. So that's all from my side for this particular video. If you didn't like anything, please do comment below and criticize it. I will definitely try to incorporate your suggestions to improve the quality in my future videos. Thanks all. Happy learning.